Mute.
Okay, let me share.
Yeah, you're ready to share it. We are the 60p Stillness Awareness Club. ROSAURA on Rails, the council of the 60p, is ready for today, and you have the power to share at any moment. All right. Remember that you can do your 60p wherever you are, any moment, any place. You can not necessarily you can be at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. You can do it at your preferred time.
Okay. The purpose of this 6DP is to create a daily transformation through consistent practice in all six paths of personal and professional growth. Our motto is that we are a place of strength, peace, power, and wealth. We will begin the transformation with stillness. Stillness is where we develop mindfulness, inner peace, self awareness, emotional regulation, and personal growth. So find yourself a comfortable spot with your feet flat on the floor, your back resting against the chair or against the wall. You may close your eyes if you want to, or leave it open, just focusing on one object and one item. Do not move your hands, do not move your feet. Just begin the stillness transformation. Think about reaching to a place where there is no talking, there is no noise, there is no dream, walking, thinking, dreaming. What am I going to do today? What am I going to do tomorrow? You're just still, you're just quiet. Concentrate and you're breathing. Breathing. Inhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Concentrate on your breathing. No trips in terms of what you're going to do today, what you did last week, and what you're going to do tomorrow. You're always taking mind trips, thinking ahead of time and thinking what to come next. Suspend all of those mind trips. Just relax and concentrate on your breathing. Inhale for 4, slowly. Exhale for 4. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Focus on one item. No mind trips. No thinking about what to come next. Just engage in stillness. Stillness is your place of inner peace. There is no difficulties. There is no problems. There is no what if. You are just entering the place of stillness. I want you to remain there for a minute or two and relax. Keep your feet flat on the floor, grounded. And relax. When you're in stillness, that's where big things happen, where you can relax and enter your inner peace. There's nowhere else like the stillness path. Nowhere else. Breathe in, inhale for 4, and exhale. There is no sounds, there is no movements. Just concentrate on your breathing. Inhale for 4, and exhale. You should be in complete stillness now. This is where great things develop. You are basically in stillness in the center of the universe. Just acquiring wellness, inner peace, and complete transformation. We're going to count to 10 and bring ourselves back. We're going to begin backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale one more time for 4. 1. Exhale for 4. When you're ready, you could open your eyes. If you had it closed, and if you had it open, You can move a little bit. So how are you feeling?
Good. Relaxed.
Good, relax, good. Now we're gonna enter our next area, which is the scaling dreamers. So what is the scaling dreamers? It help individual transform their big dreams into measurable goals through vision, planning, strength, accountability, and teamwork. So we're going to show you that there's 4 tiers in which you could enter that scaling dreamers. We're going to have Dr. Pina is going to tell us about the first 2 tiers.
Okay, perfect. So I have it right there. Let me just share it with you guys. With you, wherever you are, this is a perfect moment to decide to come to the club. Get a company, get a friend, and start working on yourself wherever you are. So we have a complete team that is ready to work with you at any moment of your time. 60p Stillness Awareness Club. So you can become a member. You're starting with building yourself. Just build it yourself wherever you are. This place of wonder. You want to grow personally, individually. You want to learn. You become a leader. You're gonna have a system in place. This is where disciplines begins, and it's very easy. Membership is 99 a month. Start here. Build the foundations of discipline, identity, and daily transformations. You can do it with us daily at 5 a.m. You can do it yourself at 5 p.m. Uh, you will follow the 6 transformation paths, 60p, weekly money Monday, school community access, and accountability system. You don't join a group, you become someone new when you start at the foundation. Build the self. And ascent, you can structure your structure turns effort into result. Rise with structure. Turn disciplines into actions and actions into measurable results. This include everything in tier one, but you're gonna have a weekly small group coaching. I spoke to someone who's very interested, and he said it's gonna spoke to wife that we know, and on a weekly basis, specifically we have Sunday. We meet for accountability to see where we are. You're not gonna be alone trying to scale individually as a company. You're gonna have a monthly hot seats sessions where you can be presented, criticize, and improve whatever it is that you're doing. Performance tracking system is not the same when you're alone, where you can do it anywhere, that you can do it with a group. And priority support and access. Structure creates result, consistency creates identity. Victor, are you right there?
Yes, I'm here.
Tell us about alchemy.
So, Alchemy, thank you for this opportunity to share about our wonderful program. Alchemy is where you don't just transform, but you transform at death. This is where you change the inner architect of your life. We're all built with a purpose. We all have a drive, right? And this is where you take the inner part of yourself and you start to construct what does it take to be all the things that I really want to be, and you start to go to a whole different level. So here for $9.99 per month, we offer you a high level transformation for serious operators and leaders. And as a senior CEO, CFO type executive like myself, right? This is the place where I'm able to come to the drawing board and take every talent that I have and figure out how to develop it to achieve my higher purpose. And this includes everything that tier one and tier two include. And it includes direct access to leadership for those trying to grow in their own leadership. You have weekly closed mastermind sessions. You have psychoanalytic deep work with a professional like Dr. Pina. And here is where you get to work on your life and business design. Thank you.
Perfect. What about legacy? This is one of my favorite, Victor.
So legacy is the highest of our tiers, but it's not the limit of your capacity. This is where you take all that you know, all that you've done in tiers one, two, and three here get offered at the highest level. This is where you lead to multiply and to make impact because we know that we don't just scale to scale ourselves. We don't just grow to grow by ourselves because we're not growing to be bigger than anyone. We're running our own race. We're growing to multiply others too. And here is where you learn the essence of not just helping yourself but helping others. You know, build something that will outlive you. You pass on that legacy to other people. And this is for leaders and executives and even organizations ready to create a lasting impact on the world. And this includes everything that tier three includes. It includes private, intensive, and strategic advisory, corporate PHM programs, clinical supervision, and leadership development. And it includes exclusive retreats and high level access. Kicking it back to you, Dr. Pena, and thank you. Kicking it back to you, Losada, actually. You're the guide master
Wow,
today.
thank you. I'm so excited as Gregor would say, I am fire up. I'm fire up because then, there are many ways then that we can make our big dreams come true. And we all have dreams. We all have dreams. We all have desires to do some things. So the big dreams come from the satisfaction with the present. We think about something and we think that we can do something better. We desire something. We have big dreams that our kids them are going to graduate from school, from college, and become somebody. We have big dreams in getting a house. We have big dreams in many other things. And Dr. Hardy says, your future cells create your present actions. Big dreams are born when you start seeing yourself as someone capable of more, even before you prove it. So we just have to set up the big dreams and begin making measurable goals. Create a big dream is like a desire, but you want to do something, you want to set a date, a goal, so that you can say, by the end of this year, I'll finish this, I'll accomplish that. Big dreams come from imagination. So before we go to any further, I want you to pause and answer one simple question, not with a paragraph, not with a story, but with one word or a short phrase. What do you want the most? What dream do you want? Can you set a goal, a measurable goal? Because that's what all big dreams are all about. And that's what we are here to help you, to make your dreams become reality. Okay, so Dr. Pina, can you tell me one of your big dreams? Just
I think
using one word.
legacy, probably.
Legacy.
Legacy, yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Gregory?
Transformation.
Transformation. Good. So those dreams, then we have them. All we have to set is a measurable goal, and we will be able to see them fulfilled. Will we be able to work towards something? Those is what big dreams is about. Move it from our imagination, bring it to reality, and make a measurable goal. And that's what we help you here to do. So from the creator path now, we are going to go to the creator path. Focus on creativity, innovation, authenticity, entrepreneur contributions, and transcendence. So, what can we do with the creator path? We can create things and we can innovate. So, what do I mean by innovate? You see a problem, you become curious about it, you have discomfort, and you decide to say, you know what? I'll find a solution to it. Innovation begins with the moment you stop accepting things as they are and start imagining what they could be. And we here at the CSTP Club help you to reach that innovation, to reach that creative path. Okay, and I have a few examples here. Recently, I traveled. Before I had to print the boarding pass. No, there was no more printing. I have it on my phone. On the job, everyone has their calendar, but no one know what other people were doing. There was a discomfort, and now we have share calendars. We could share our calendar. Computers, televisions, they're touch screens now, so you no longer have to use buttons. There were people that were feeling discomfort and they decided to innovate to create something. The 6TP pills is also an innovation. It's a systematic way to create consistent daily transformation and to begin your day in one stop. It's like Walmart. In one stop, 6TP, and you acquire everything that you need to begin the day. But it doesn't only have to, innovation is not only about objects, it could be words too. Could be a word, it could be a motto, it could be a mantra that you create. We have someone here that created one. When I'm losing, it's because I just started to win. That's innovation. There's something that you can use, a motto that you can use to motivate you, to symbolize your family, your friends, your mission in life. And that's innovation. So remember, innovation is not only big things, them small things, them little things, them. And we here help you to go from small to big. There's another word that is can be an innovative word. See you at the top. The bottom is too crowded. This word have these phrases have many variations, but it's also innovation. It helps you motivate you, and you could be the author and of those words. Then you could create your own words and innovate. And here at the 6DP, we help you accomplish all of those goals. So now we're going to go to the sportsmanship path. This is where we develop physical fitness, discipline, endurance, health, and lifelong vitality through sports and movements. So, what I want you to do now is get your water ready. Water is very important. Get your water ready. Get your any equipment that you're going to use. You could use the run, walk, run. What is exercise for one person is different for another person. Some of us may need to just move our foot several times. Some of us may need to just move our head from side to side. Exercise is different for everyone. And I want to see everyone here moving. Move something. Just stand up, make sure and drink some water. And begin your movements. Begin your movements. I like to move with music, and I'm planning some music, but I have to be careful because it has to be original. So as soon as I finish and I make it, we're gonna do not Zumba because I'm not trained as a Zumba instructor, but we're gonna do something similar. And we could do that. We could do the run, walk, run. We could do many things, but walk up and down the steps. If you are taking the bus, you can get off at a stop before and keep walking. Exercise is vitality. It develops endurance. It is life. I know Dr. Pina likes to run around, walk, run, walk in his neighborhood. And that's very good because we get fresh air at the same time. And eventually we can get even vitamin D. So that's good. Dr. Pina, are you walking around?
Ready. I just wake
Ready.
up. I'm outside and I'm on my fourth date of fasting and just started running. And Jeff Calloway, wait, love it.
Good, good, good. And I know that we are doing it even more because today we have the big celebration of the Knicks. I will be looking at it right from my home, but I will be celebrating as well.
But I'm gonna be there.
Good, good. So are you in the Catano aisle walking around?
At the moment, I am in the Catano Island. I'm jogging around it, and I am preparing to enter the island of Manhattan later this morning.
Good. Just tell us all about it tomorrow because then I'll be seeing it as well, but from home. Good. What about you, Gregory? Thank you, Victor. What about you, Gregory?
Standing in place in my bedroom here. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Thank you, sis.
Right. So those are examples that we could do exercise anywhere and anytime. We don't need any special equipment. We don't need any special places. We don't need any special time. Exercises can be even taken 2, 3 minutes from your office and walk around. And that's exercise. The important thing is not to stay static in one place. You can move your fingers, you can move your head, because what is exercise for one person is different for another person. For me, exercise a few months ago was just moving my feet and eventually my hands and eventually feet and hands at the same time. So exercise is different for everybody. And Dr. Z, what are you doing?
I'm actually stretching my shoulders and my neck right now. Uh, been typing at the computer, so this was a good little break to relieve that tension. So thank you.
And that's good, very good, Dr. Z. You heard about occupational hazards, and that's one of them. When we stay too much at the computer, we can damage some of our body parts. So exercise is very important. If it's even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we should exercise every day. A few months ago, again, as I repeat, exercise for me was not only moving my feet and eventually my hands, but walking from the kitchen to the living room several times. Until now, I gain my complete vitality. And it could be 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes in the evening, 3 minutes at night, until we can speed up to 5 and 10 and 15 minutes and eventually 30 minutes.
I'm really beating up these islands today.
You have to go to the Nick parade. You have to be full endurance and vitality because there's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of pushing, a lot of screaming, a lot of celebrations.
And apparently a lot of rain.
Rain?
Well, you wait all your life for this moment, and it's gonna rain.
Oh, wow. And you're just going to be alive today.
One of my best childhood buddies who lives in Florida, he and his brother, he and I used to always watch all of the big games together. He lives in Tampa, and he flew up just for the parade. So I'm meeting them today.
Wow. It's a big thing. 53 years?
Yeah, man.
53 years. Wow. What a game. I
And
watched
what
it
a day, Victor.
From Clearwater, myself, me and my wife and Camilo, and it was crazy. It was madness to see the whole last moment. Amazing.
I couldn't believe that we had fireworks here in Shelton.
Mm.
Glory, glory, glory.
What about you, Gregory? Are you going to see this parade?
I was planning, but not today.
All right. I'm bringing your spirit with me and I'm representing you, sir.
Thank you.
And you are fully ready, Victor, because you had your 6 TP this morning. So you have everything that you need to succeed today. So there is no rain that matters. There's no crowd that matters. You are fully equipped.
We were supposed to go as a family. Keep us in prayer because the anxiety bug is killing my house at this moment. You know, um, my wife wondered if it wasn't, my little boy, he's a huge Knicks fan. And I thought, listen, I didn't see it in my lifetime till now. I don't know when you'll have another opportunity to do this. I'll bring you, I'll carry you on my shoulders. And that was vetoed from the executive, the executive here in the house, and um, my older daughter was going to come, but the thought of 4 million people and um, you know, rain and all that was, kept her up all night, and I think it's giving her anxiety. And the reality is that there's so much going on down in New York, and when you don't know it so well, or you haven't lived through chaos in New York, it's not for everybody, right? And so I understand it, but it's sad. I really wanted this to be a great family moment.
Oh, you will bring that moment to them. You will let them feel it eventually because then it's going to be very crowded out there, extremely crowded.
Oh, you better believe, you know, FaceTime live. Woo!
Okay, we could start slowing down, cooling down, and let's do the last 2 minutes. I know Dr. Pina is going to go a little more, but it's okay. And those of you that downloaded the Strava, you could document it. I downloaded it, but I'm not able to operate it from in the street. So I'm going to try it again today. So meanwhile, you are in the parade, Victor, I will be trying that Strava today because I downloaded it on my phone already. I think it's very important to have accountability. We had it on our watch. We had it on the computer. And now we have it in this app. How many minutes did I walk? How many minutes did I run? And accountability is very important. Personally, it's important to see where we are and where we are going, where we're getting to. So if you're finished, drink some water. If you had a pressure machine, you take your pressure to see when you started, how much it was, and to see how much energy did you input in it. But if you don't have it, just drink some water. Water is very important before and after to hydrate yourself. And we are right on schedule because then I want everybody to go and see the next parade. So we are going to go now to the authorship path. In the authorship path, we encourage writing, publishing, teaching, documenting, experience, and sharing wisdom. What better way to share wisdom than writing, than putting it down in a paper so that others can benefit from it? And here at the 6TP, we encourage you to do so. That's part of your legacy. That's part of who you are. It's a way that you can share your history. But I know history, your story. But I know that many of us says that we don't know what to write about. I remember as a teacher, the children used to say, I don't know what to write about. And we had to brainstorm and come up with ideas because they could not write. The sentences could not come up. They did not know what to write about. So as adults, we have many stories. We have a story when you had to set boundaries. That can be a story to teach somebody how to do it. We had a story how you learn to cook. That's your story. And you could put it in paper so that others could learn from it. And today I'm going to share with you uh, a piece of writing that I did. And it's my story. And when it's my story, when it's your story, it becomes a memoir. But it's basically a how to do story. And many people can learn from it. So it is about how I overcame the embarrassment of language mistakes when I just came to this country. Ready to hear this part of my life? Okay, I'll begin. And it's a
Let's hear it.
writing. It's something that I can do, you can do, we all can do because we all have stories to write, to share, to publish, and to document our experiences. Okay. I migrated from the Republic of Panama when I was 19 years old, young, hopeful, and completely unaware that my English was about to expose me in ways I never imagined. Back home, Spanish was the language of everything: school, government, church, and even for the chismes, the little gossips. I spoke Spanish fluently, of course, and a little English mixed with Panamanian Creole English. Panamanian Creole was the Afro-Caribbean rhythm that slips into our words, whether we want to or not. But the moment I landed in the United States, my English started acting like I had a mind, like it had a mind of its own. The English habits that I brought from Panama. I didn't just speak English, I remixed it, dropping the S when we said friends became friend. The silent H in Spanish, like in many other, in Panama, like in many other Spanish country, the H is null. We said the H, la H es muda. So instead of saying house, it became house. The CH and the SH, we didn't make any distinction between those two sounds. So instead of saying children, it became children or Sharon. The V and the V was also another confusion. Instead of saying vacation, it became vacation. Vote became boat. And beach became BITCH. And because Spanish really ends in consonant clusters, I added extra vowels like school, S schools, stop, S stop, sprite, S sprite. This pronunciation quirk made communication interesting and difficult to understand. People often ask, and I can still remember it today, people often ask me, can you repeat that, please? What did you say? Or they gave me the puzzled face, the universal sign for, I have no idea what just came out of your mouth. Sometimes during a conversation, I smiled, I nodded, or I pretended I understood. In other instances, I understood half or none of the conversation. Reading and writing took longer because I live with a dictionary in my hands for my like an emotional support. But the real problem came years later. The sex disorder. I once gave a presentation to parents and school staff explaining services for kindergarten students. The program was called SETS, Special Education Teacher Support Services. It standing for SETSS. But when I said it, it came out sounding like sex. People who were half asleep woke up like popcorn. Head snapped up, eyes widened. Someone whispered, "What did she say?" I corrected myself immediately, but the damage was done. That day, I learned the power of misplacing sounds. Another time, the chairperson told a new employee that cursing was not allowed in the office. The employee said, "But Rosaura cursed all day in the classroom." Why? Because when I said focus, it came out something like FUCK. I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or pack my bags and go back to Panama. These moments were embarrassing, yes, but they also became my teachers. So, what I want to share is how I overcame the embarrassments of language mistakes. And this is a self help guide for immigrants written from my experience. These are strategies that help me transform our shame into confidence and confusion into communication. One thing that I did was ask people to repeat themselves too. They were always asking, "What did you say? Can you repeat it, please?" So then I can ask them to, "What did you say?" Sometimes if they ask me, "What did I say?" I would change it around and I would say, "I meant," and I sort of like explain what I meant. Sometimes I use gestures when the word disappears, when I didn't know what word to use or how to pronounce the word. I practice with people that were not judgmental because one thing that I dislike is when I was speaking and the children will correct me, the children. "No, Miss Vanville, that's not how you say. This is how it goes." So I was forced to practice. And one thing that really helped me is slow down when I speak. Slow down and pronounce my words them properly. Try to sound out each word, but I could only do that if I spoke slowly. Eventually, there were apps or YouTube pronunciations. I used the phone as my language partner, and I learned the 100 most common English words. Those are the ones that they call the Dutch list, and I learned those words. And one important thing that I did is I stopped translating in my head. Instead of translating Spanish to English, I learned to describe things. I learned to use simple phrases, and I think English little by little. Translating things into my head didn't work because it wasn't translated literally. It didn't improve the understanding. So language mistakes don't mean you are uneducated. They don't mean you're slow. They don't mean you don't belong. They mean you're brave enough to build a life in a language that wasn't yours. So this is something that I want to share with the world, and I want to show you, I want to inspire you that you as well have many, many stories to share. We all have stories to share. The day you spoke to the neighbor about her dog coming over and eating your plants, how you did it. We all have stories to share. We just have to put it in writing and be brave enough to publish it. And that will be your story and not his story. Any comments? We're still on time.
I like it. It's especially I learned you have English Creole because I know there is a French Creole in Santo Domingo. We have the Spanish, Puerto Rico and Cuba, and then Haiti have the French Creole, and Panama have the English Creole.
Yes, that's a combination that I think that was invented like maybe four people. That is a combination of English and words that came from Jamaica, from the Indians. We sort of like mixed them up and created a language from
Well,
it.
very interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, we mixed up that English Creole words them that we invented with the Spanish, and again the vowels, the consonants. It was all a big mixture. But when you travel here to the United States, you realize that you're not speaking English because then they are not understanding what you're saying. And you sort of like, isolate yourself and just stay with people that speak Spanish. Because in every time they had to ask, what did you say? Can you repeat it, please? I still remember those two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you that's a how to, and we all can come up with how to. Victor, you were about to say something?
Yes, I was about to say that this is something that I kind of take for granted because I've grown up with so many people with that, and because you understand both Spanish and English, you can kind of pick up and understand what they're saying, and I think of a show that they used to have on on La Mega, which is the Spanish radio station in New York. Used to have this guy Juan Leche, and his whole job was to be like, I have the harvest sweetener of the harvest of the sperm of because I have to freaking learn. Are you freaking later? Right? And he was just intentionally doing that, but it was like the most hilarious thing, right? So there's just so many places where this shows up, and something. I'm proud of you, sister. I'm proud of all that you've overcome with this. I'm proud of the fact that I see your eloquence, right? Maybe because I understand just a little more, right? But I see your eloquence, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Victor. And what I want to show is that we all have a story. We all have a story. We all have something that we just have to put it in writing. And those how to do books, those how to do pamphlets, those how to do stories is something that people like because people want to know how you solve the problem when you had it, how you solve it. So maybe I can try it and it may work. No guarantee, but it may work. And for me, what worked very much, most of all, it was slowing down and pronouncing my vowels and consonant sounds and stop dropping the ending of words or putting words them together that didn't go together. And that helps a lot. Okay, so I hope that example will inspire you to just put your story because we have been reading all our life about his story. So now write about your story and put it, publish it, and be a creator in the authorship path. Now to finish up, because we have a few more minutes, we're gonna have Gregory reading us a few lines or pages of the Thinker Path. The Thinker Path helps us develop wisdom, critical thinking, reading habits, and just develop us into lifelong learners.
Thank you, sister. We're going to begin with where did the scaling framing work come from? Unfortunately, good strategy is not the exception, it's the rule. In 2015, during the first year of my PhD in organization psychology, I started blogging about how to apply psychology to business. Within a few months, my blogs were being read by millions of people monthly. By the time I graduated with my PhD in 2019, I was one of the world's top bloggers and a professional author with a seven-figure training company. Rather than sticking to the academic path, I went straight into the cutthroat world of business coaching and consulting. In addition to the training thousands of leaders in my own program, I also work directly with some of the top business coaches and leaders in the world. In that process, I co-authored a trilogy of entrepreneurial strategy books with Dan Sullivan, a man who's coached over 20,000, I repeat that again, 20,000 entrepreneurs in the past 50 years. That trilogy has sold over 1 million copies. I also wrote a book on the emerging science of future self, which becomes one of the fastest selling book in various parts of Asia, including South Korea and Japan. In the mid 2023, after finishing my final book with Dan Sullivan, 10x is easier than 2x. I'll say that again, 10x is easier than 2x. I felt strongly that I needed to return to the drawing board. Though I've learned a lot the previous decade in my PhD research, training companies myself, and working with people like Dan, it was clear to me there was still a huge, I say huge again, unresolved problem. Most people, even though getting guidance and training, don't know how to scale their business. Scaling is the exception, not the rule. And even though there were hundreds of gurus and academic teaching this, none of them had clients who consistently were able to achieve results. This wasn't acceptable to me. I spent the next 2 years reading I say again, hundreds of books and thousands of research studies on the subject of business strategy and psychology. In addition to my studies, I continued training thousands more leaders and business on my developing insight, seeing consistently, seeing consistent patterns and problems emerge as people try to scale. Given the obvious rarity of scaling and profound results, it was clear that traditional and popular thinking on both the subjects of strategy and psychology were muddled, confusing, and even derailing. If someone wanted to learn how to effectively scale a business, it would likely take them years or decades to through the endless popular and scientific material on the subject. So, without question, there is powerful and important research and insight in both of these fields. Though often buried in a noise or improperly framed, it wasn't my initial intent, but to provide something transformative and effective. It became clear that I need to create an entire new and simplified, I say that again, simplified model. I partnered with Blake Erickson, a world class leader and a trainer, to refine this model. It has been noted by the Harvard psychologist Dr. Steven Pinker that psychology as a discipline is misorganized and mistaught. The billionaire investor Charlie Munger agreed with Pinker's statement, stating that psychology is significant daft and that a lot has been discovered, but no one mind has put it all together in a proper form. And it should be done because it wouldn't be that hard to do and it's enormously important. Sister Rosaura, I'll stop right there.
Thank you so much, Gregory. Thank you. So we're almost on time. And let us get just about two ideas about, what was this all about? I know that Dr. Hardy said that he wrote several books before, and he read many books, and that's what we are encouraging you to do, to read and write, and eventually you will become another writer of a bestseller. So let us see what is this about. How did all this all came about? This idea about scaling. Dr. Z, what is your take on this part?
I will say I was a little distracted. I was getting ready to take the dogs out for a walk. Sorry.
That's good too. That's good too. Dogs are man's best friends. Good. Dr. Pina?
It's the story of how he started with Blake and his experience, his PhD research, his years of training with businesses with Dan Sullivan, his trilogy of books. So how he established his blogs of thousands of viewers. It's an amazing researcher, and I love because he's like putting together the art of psychology and the art of strategy by one of the most amazing framework, the scaling framework that we have studied, we have read. This is the second time. This is my sixth time reading it. I am now going paragraph by paragraph, and it's any moment I have a time. I am enjoying the reading slowly. I even pay my son's his positions is mental health eye director to just read a book and contradict and think with me and discuss it with me. Also an amazing opportunity just to see how he came to and what is the science behind the scaling model. And there is a sign. It's amazing. You know, I was discussing with Victor yesterday that we don't know how we're gonna get to the impossible goal. We don't know how. It's we have to create an innovative new path right there that gets you motivated and excited. And that's what it is. So yeah, this story is kind of very interesting. And I also want to organize the science of psychology. Pinker says it's very disorganized. We don't know and what to do about it. And having an organized principles on scaling, uh, it seems to me kind of very interesting. And since it's like a strategy and psychology, the main ideas or science behind the whole model. I like it. Very interesting.
I agree, Dr. Pina is very interested. And it teaches us as well that big dreams, we all have dreams. We all have dreams, small, middle, big dreams can be transformed into measurable goals. And we here at the CXTP Pills provide you with 4 tiers where you can make those dreams become reality. We all have writers, we all have stories to tell. We all have our stories to tell how to do something. Parents, husbands, cousins, uncles, we all have stories to say. All we have to do is put it in writing. And here at the 6DP, again, it says, we help your dreams become reality and transform them into measurable goals. And with that, enjoy your parade at the next. Be safe. Thank you. Be safe. I will be looking at it here along with you. I will be celebrating and see you tomorrow.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.